All right, here we go. Another great edition. We've got 3 of us in the building today.
Heck yeah.
We are going to piggyback off of the previous episode. This is the Vital Wire. All right. So last week, we're just going to kind of dive right in because last week we started setting the foundation kind of impromptu of resolution season.
Yeah.
And yes, it's October. It's already middle of October.
Spooky.
So all of a sudden, you're going to have your trunk or treats, your Thanksgiving, and then your Christmas or whatever holiday you may have in December, and then New Year's. And with New Year's, every year, most people are going to do their resolutions.
Yeah. Right.
So we kind of set the foundation last week as far as get in that mindset now. Don't be afraid of it because you're just going to stress yourself out later trying to figure out on the spot, what the hell am I going to do?
Right.
So, and this is one of the podcasts where we're going to get very specific about how we can help in that process.
Right. Yeah.
Some of the things we provide and unapologetically give you tangible steps to be able to take advantage of any sort of health resolutions, mental health resolutions, diet resolutions. There's things that we can do here to either point you in the right direction or start to take care of. So that is what this episode's going to be, a continuation of tangible steps from last week.
Yes.
So super excited for that. And we've already have people, I mean, Keisha's one that comes to mind, that are already like taking those steps.
Yes.
I know. And hearing some of the testimonials, and didn't really have anything to do with resolution season. They had already chose that their resolution is going to be, she's figuring this stuff out for her, it was the metabolic side of things. And people are already taking action steps. It's like, it doesn't take the first of the year to create a resolution season, which is cool to start to see this time of year and what people have done over the summer even. So, but it's just been very cool to see some of our clients, even as early as today, start to make a shift and change.
No, for sure. I mean, we talked about last week, you don't have to wait until the first of the year. Don't let it be an excuse to get your last minute binges in. Start now and let us help in that. Let us be a resource. Let us help you to those health goals through what we have to offer, which is exactly why we're going to do what we're doing right now. Right. Just go step by step.
Yeah, there's a multitude of different categories of people who are gonna resolution. Yep. And while we are still very much a family practice, and yes, we started seeing a lot of athletes, and we still see pregnant moms and babies, whatever avenue it is for you, I don't care if you're 6 minutes old or 6 million minutes old, it doesn't matter to me. I don't know how many 6 million minutes would be, but that would be probably a lot.
Carry the one.
I think we'd be all upset. I think most of us would be upset finding out that we might not even come close to 6 million minutes. I don't think we want to know how many minutes we actually, the average lifespan is. But for however many minutes you are here, enjoy them all, have the quality of life and capacity to do it, and feel good about yourself and achieving what it is you want to achieve. So no matter if you're an athlete, a teacher, a grandparent, whatever it is you're dealing with from subluxation, as we like to call it, pressure and interference on the nervous system, to scoliosis or metabolic issues or digestive tract, neuropathy, whatever, pre or post surgery, whatever it is, let us be a resource for you in that for sure. There's a lot of clinical additions we've had in the practice this year, a lot of outcomes that have gone through the roof. I know Erin has been probably the biggest help in the soft wave room in the clinical side. We've added decompression and red light, and so there's a lot of things that we are able to do now that are going to help get a lot of people's success faster, but also sustainable results for sure.
Yeah, not just a quick fix.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And then on the athlete side of things, we do have the ultimate athlete evaluation to be able to, how do we prevent injuries? How do we train better? How do we build better athletes, mental, physical relationships on the pure athlete side? And there's been a lot of shift and change that Erin, you have seen, even, being also a coach of a dance team locally, and you're starting to hear some buzz even from the athletes and from the parents. People are starting to ask more questions on what they can do.
Right.
So with that, let's kind of jump into which one do we want to talk about first.
I say we start from the top.
Yeah.
I just want to list, well, that's what I mean. What do we want to talk about first? We've got
I think chiropractic first.
Yeah.
Start from the top.
Okay.
We opened Vital Performance almost 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, it will be 7 years this coming year, I guess.
I mean, on the chiropractic side, I mean, I tell everybody, it almost seems too simple. Proper structure is proper function. Mm-hmm. So a lot of things that people deal with, if I'm limited to one thing, it's like, you have to take everything out of this building, but one thing, what are you leaving? My tables and my tech equipment to do chiropractic, to deliver the adjustment very specifically. Mm-hmm. It's like a breaker box in a house. If the breaker's tripped and your lights are off in your bedroom, you can't just change the light bulb and expect it to come back on. The function is lacking at the very beginning of the source. So look there. So on the chiropractic side, I mean, people who are dealing with migraines, headaches and migraines and low back pain by statistics are the number one reason for missed work days and school days. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't matter. Also, young women who end up getting their cycle, or women who already have their cycle, migraines and headaches are another. It's a hormonal imbalance that creates that as well. But those are some of the top things that you miss work or school for, which costs you time and money. So if you're dealing with that, for those of you that are listening that may deal with that, try to add up how many days you have missed something. So if you've missed work, if you've missed a sporting event, if you've missed, going to a kid's something, you've missed a dinner because you've had a headache, take all of those things, not just, I missed 4 days of work. No, take all of the things of everything you've missed in life due to a headache and start to really analyze, should I do something about this? And what are my options? But that's one thing that chiropractic, structure of the spine, the neurological evaluation that we can do can really help with that. We've seen that.
Right.
We have 2 people sitting in the room that have dealt with that and seen that. And then, scoliosis. I mean, how many athletes have we seen in the...
many, at least 5.
We just had one.
In
I
the
was
last
just gonna
week.
say, yeah, like 2 weeks ago. Somebody came in thinking they had a 10-degree curve, and they have 2 20-degree curves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was mind-blowing to them and their parents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she was like, oh my gosh, no wonder.
Yeah, and there's people on the other side who have no idea they even have a curve.
Yes.
So there's not even like we already know about the curve. No, you have no idea.
One of the first years in practice, we had somebody walk in our doors, and she was having a ton of issues. It was a daughter. Her mom was at her wit's end. She walked in, got her x-rays taken. Dr. Dustin brought her back, showed her x-rays, and mom burst into tears.
Yeah. Had no clue.
No idea. No idea she had
Still
a curve.
clients to this day.
And it was a huge curve. It wasn't just like you have
28
scoliosis.
degrees.
It was a 28-degree curve.
Yeah.
Nuts.
And there's so many other things like the GI side,
Yes.
the ADD, ADHD side, like all of it is so connected, which you can touch on more. But
Yeah. Well,
and that's what I find so intriguing about chiropractic is the limitations that people have on it. Like, everybody believes it's for pain. It's never been for pain, actually, which is what I find to be the most intriguing about chiropractic. Is it was literally to restore a man's hearing.
it was based on function.
Right.
So, and it just happened that the first adjustment delivered was able to give Harvey Lillard was his name. D.D. Palmer delivered the adjustment. Harvey Lillard gained tone back in his hearing. So based on that, he didn't go to D.D. because he was deaf. He was getting adjusted, and by way of the adjustment was like, I can hear that phone ring. I can hear tone. And then he ended up regaining some of it. So it's all based on function for sure.
And that's what I love about when we have clients in here for pain and they start realizing the functionality that comes back to them, the bowel movement things, the headaches, the migraines, the anxiety. We've had a ton of people come in with social anxiety to the point where they can't make eye contact with you, and they are full throttle looking at you, talking to you, and all of that like a month and a half in. And it's fantastic to see that. Kids with ADHD that can't sit still, sit perfectly still, hang out, are able to get adjusted, and then go sit by mom. Just relax.
Coming off of medication.
Yes.
I mean, just the whole lifestyle changing, and those are all functional changes. So yeah, I mean, headaches, migraines, scoliosis, digestive issues. I think people, if you're going to do anything this year, I'm going to just be biased for a second. If you're going to do anything this year, remove the stereotype of a chiropractic lifestyle.
Yes.
Do that. You will thank yourself. I promise you. We've had a lot of people. How many have we heard that Joe comes to mind? There's a couple people that are like, man, I was skeptical.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, but I'm still here because it's working.
Yep.
It's like, okay, when do you plan on stopping? I don't know, but I still got room to improve. I still got, and so people start to get it.
Yeah.
And so if you're going to do anything this year, when it comes to that, and when it comes to the chiropractic side of things, remove the stereotype. Oh, I went before, it was terrible. Everybody's had a bad dentist they didn't like. Everybody's had a bad teacher they didn't like. You didn't just stop going. Just start to seek out more of the chiropractic lifestyle. Understand the adjustment. This is not TikTok, turn, twist, crack, and pop, and make a bunch of noise with the spine and
No
move
Y
every
straps
joint
will
that's
be used here.
Yeah, no, I mean, get rid of the stereotype and start asking questions. I don't care if you're listening to this in Europe or across the nation, wherever. Ask us questions like, who do you think I should go to in Vermont?
Yeah.
Got one, Michael Summers, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, who should I go to in Colombia? Taylor Sawah, got him. Like, where should I go? We have those answers, and that's going to be one of the biggest shifts you will make in resolution season. Whatever resolution you make, don't make it and try to attain it via status quo.
And also don't wait until there's something wrong to then
Yes.
find
Right.
the solution for it.
Right.
I think that's my favorite thing that you always say is like, once there's a fire, you already got to put it out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. If the smoke alarm's going off, there's
yeah.
already fire.
The nerve thing that we used to talk about all the time in the office, or when I was in the office, I always used to educate on why you're feeling that pain. And it's because the nerve, the middle of the nerve is what actually resonates pain, correct? So thinking about all the function you're losing before finally feeling that pain is absolutely nuts. That's something that I always liked to tell people because people don't realize that. They're like, oh, well, I feel this pain. I'm like, that's great. And it's probably going to be one of the first things to leave because we're removing those subluxations. However, think about all that function you're losing before you even get to that pain.
Yeah.
It's been going on for years and years and years, and you hadn't even noticed it because it's quote unquote regular in today's society to have bowel movement issues, to have headaches. Oh, I deal with it all the time. That's not normal.
Yeah.
Leave that word out of it. Come in, ask the questions.
Yeah, common and normal are different. We've talked about that
Yes.
before. Common of having like, oh, I have a headache like every week. Yeah, that's common maybe, but is it normal? No. Popping medication, is it common? Yes. Normal? No.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah, you weren't born needing medication. Like you weren't born with, okay, here's what you're going to end up having over the course of your life. So here, this is going to be good. Everybody get your pens out, write this down, record this mark. Like we need to mark this right now because I need to remember it too. And listening to what you guys have said, the fire alarm already going off, that means there's at least smoke. And if there's fire, well, you've waited way too long. Now we got to put it out and rebuild, which is fine. We can do that. But with what you guys have said, here's another challenge for everybody's resolution season. Ready? How about you pick a resolution for a quality you would like to keep, not something you would like to get back and fix? I want to lose 20 pounds. Okay, how about you pick something great about yourself and figure out how you can build on it and keep it instead of losing it?
I like that.
I loved my body when I went to college. Now I want to get it back. That's great. Have one of those resolutions too. But if you love the body you have now, you know there's things that can get in the way. Be very honest with yourself. It's like, okay, now they talk about the freshman 15. Well, that's a phase of life too, where once you get out of college, you stop playing sports or you get a job and now you're sitting or whatever that might be. Like you thought the freshman 15 was bad. Wait till you get out of college and now you can really lose your physique, especially the clientele that we see. It's like, man, how about you choose the things that you love and like about whether it's your bank account, yourself, your job, and keep them at a quality you would like to keep them at, and also have the ones that you would want to get back. So along with the status quo of like, okay, you want to lose, we go back to the weight. Weight is like 90% of what people pick. Something along their weight, their physique. And it's like, okay, I want to lose 50 pounds this year. Great. Well, one bite at a time on that elephant. Okay. But like having bariatric surgery isn't the answer. Like that's not, it's like, okay, you might have completed the goal, but is that no, like let's not go status quo, like Ozempic and all that stuff.
I
It's
was
like you
just gonna
hear a lot
say
of these in time and place, maybe, but not, again, common, not normal to have to do that. So start to think maybe outside of status quo and mainstream of how you need, and if you need to ask questions on, okay, how do I not do it that way because I'm a little skeptical on how everybody else is doing it, that's
Right.
good. Have those questions, ask them accordingly.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. Resolution season's fun. So that's on the chiropractic side. We kind of veered a little bit, but I mean, there's things as far, we're talking about function and headaches, migraines, allergies, sinus issues, sleeplessness, ADD, ADHD, digestive problems, urinary, kidney, bladder, reproductive issues, neuropathies. Like I can just list and list and list and list and list. You know, those are all things chiropractic can absolutely help with. It's a lifestyle, not a thing. I really encourage everybody to remove the stereotype. Figure out where there's a great chiropractor near you that preaches the chiropractic lifestyle and can help you with whatever it is you're dealing with, and start there.
And like you already said, if you need somebody,
Yep.
if you need a chiropractor in your area, you're listening from, like he said, Europe, reach out because we actually know a ton.
Yeah.
We have pretty much everybody in every state covered.
Next thing,
Yes.
since I picked it up and it's already in my hand,
I love it.
this might be one of everybody's favorites in the office. Honestly, this is, I think, very underestimated. We've talked about this a little bit as far as the metabolic side of things, and I get my blood work every 6 months. Yeah, you get 11 tests run and they don't even tell you anything about it, and really it's like, it's some good insight, but it's not a complete panel of everything and how your body's functioning metabolically. Our metabolic performance paneling is among the best. Keisha is one that comes to mind. There's been plenty of people who have started this process that have just had great results. And I encourage everybody to do a panel. If you're watching this, I've got like 8 or 9 pages of paper in my hand that is report and tests that we do. There's almost 6 pages of results on this thing. This is not just your standard CBC and maybe a little bit of a liver panel. Like, there is so many tests on this, and some clients, after we get this back, there's some we can order. We have ordered more on. MTHFR is one we can add. There's so many things that we can look at, and this is like, well, I don't feel anything. It's like people get blood work. It's a reactive thing too. It's like, man, I've got all this fatigue and my immune system feels like it's just tanked and blah blah blah. It's like, okay, now let's do blood work again. Let's talk about what we're going to keep. And it's like, well, if your blood work is quote great and within range, awesome. How can we keep it there? Like, this should be a standard in everybody's, like, this extensive paneling, not just a CBC and a couple other tests. We have helped there's a teenager specifically who had a huge thyroid issue, had no clue. She had no symptoms, student athlete. No symptoms. Does this, find out her body has tagged her thyroid as immunocompromised. So the body's going to start attacking this thyroid, which potentially can lead to a potential cancer diagnosis as well, depending on how the body starts to attack this thing. And we have literally, to this point, she has not had to do really anything else up to this point. There's been no removal of the thyroid, but like these things, I mean, these results were 10x what they should have been.
Yeah.
So this is something, we've got another student athlete who just got hers done. And people are starting to take the steps. And this is one of the things where I honestly feel like people just don't know what they don't know, and they don't know where to go. And they're so just kind of conditioned to be like, oh wait, that's real blood work. I thought it would, like my doctor did it. And that it's like, I get that. Away from status quo a little bit, ask better questions, get better answers, get better tests done. Our metabolic performance paneling, even on the foundational level, is just through the roof. And like I said, if we needed to call for more tests, we can. But this will give you an insight, everything from CBC to thyroid, liver, kidneys, C-reactive protein. Like I said, we can throw MTHFR in here. There is cholesterols. There's A1Cs. There's all kinds of the whole diabetic paneling, electrolyte paneling. There's so much in here that gives us a whole look into the clients, and a complete report that we do here in office with some colleagues of ours. Dr. Tom and Dr. Steve help us out with that. And we concierged this out. We say it's all inclusive tests and supplements per your blood work. And this isn't just the supplements you order from Amazon or get at Whole Foods. We have a source where we get all of these organic supplements from,
super clean,
dosed to your blood work, and start you on that process. Initial draw is 90 days. We pivot if we need to after 90 days. We've had some go out to 6 months. We just got one back out today where we did 90. Now we go in 6 months. We've had some that go into 12 months. But this should be a gold standard in everybody's health. You should want to do this. You should set money aside and budget accordingly to do this, because the reaction side of it, when something does go wrong, is a hell of a lot more expensive and a hell of a lot more time. And then then we were reading a journal article today on injuries and the effect on the mental health in student athletes. I don't care if you're a student athlete or not, an injury or a diagnosis is going to affect your mental health in a negative manner. So then you get to deal with that. Right. Blood work is one of the most underrated areas to really look at when it's done right and gone over specifically, and you are educated properly and you get the proper steps going forward to shift and correct.
Yeah. What people don't really know is like you get your standard CBC and like you go to Walgreens, they're like, okay, you're low on B12 based on this panel, like you're in the red. You go to Walgreens, you get your B12. If you don't need everything that you're taking, say I'm taking, I don't even know, like 500 milligrams or of B12 that your body doesn't actually need, you're literally just peeing it out and you're wasting it. Whereas this, your blood work is telling you you might need this amount of B12 because it's not working with your body. It's not being absorbed the way that it's supposed to be. And that's why your B12 level might be low.
Yeah.
That's what people usually don't know.
And I was just going to add into that too, with the supplement thing. I love our blood paneling because it gives you such specific things, because we see things go viral all the time. Oh, take this. Oh, take that. Oh, do this. Oh, do that. Everybody needs it. But in fact, not everybody needs it. You don't need to jump on the trend. You need to do what's right for your body. And some things actually can be very dangerous to take, such as iron. If you are not deficient in iron, it is very dangerous for you to take iron unless you know that your body needs it, because it actually can make your body toxic, which then you have the fallout of you gain headaches, you gain things like exhaustion and fatigue and not being able to sleep properly and all of that. So if you're improperly supplementing your person, it's going to cause super negative effects. Whereas if you do this blood paneling, you get everything that you're supposed to, you're going to skyrocket in your health.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is just definitely something everybody should do. And I go back to, one of the things is with how much money we spend on a lot of other things, and it's time to kind of figure out what you value most and what you need to value most, reshift your focus and literally budget some of these things in. When we do this, there's just to give people an idea, when people do our metabolic performance paneling, our blood work protocol that we do here, it's some people pay it up front, some people spread it out. We have affordable ways to do that. So while we are a self-pay office, we've been very open about that. We can help people give them the receipts if they want to submit it to their insurance. But it's funny, a lot of the posts that we're seeing now on our stuff and the people that are coming in, it's like they've said, I'm glad you're so transparent about who you are, what you do, and how payment works in this office. And even on comments on the post now, it's like, I'm sure insurance doesn't cover any of this, because we've been open about, we do run ads. We do want to help. We run ads because we want to help. The money and all the growth takes care of itself. We want to help people. And we've had people comment that, oh, I'm sure insurance doesn't cover this. And I will respond to them, or our team will respond to them, either there or in a personal message, however, and say, unfortunately, you are correct. However, and they're like, no, that's fine. I just want to know what to expect. I'll just budget accordingly. It's like, thank you. Thank you for taking that mindset, because the return on investment is huge. Your car insurance doesn't buy you new tires when you need them for normal wear and tear.
Right.
Like your dental or your health insurance doesn't buy your toothpaste for you. You're not reimbursed for that, but you're still doing that. There's so many things that we pay for that, in the same light, we've been conditioned in the medical side to, well, your insurance covers and you want to do this and your Blue Cross Blue Shield and all this stuff. But you got to start to realize what's actually going on and figure, like, yeah, some of the best things for you in the world, yeah, they're not going to be covered under insurance. It's a critical healthcare model. That's a great critical healthcare model. That's what it should be there for. So now everybody's just starting to decide, well, I don't want to wait till I'm critical
Yep.
Right.
to have somebody else maybe pay for it. How about I just invest into what I have now? I mean, I bought a house as an investment.
Right.
And I am going to reap that return one day. So how about you invest in yourself? And that way, when you do retire, you have the quality of life that you would love to have and enjoy it longer than you'd ever dreamed at a quality higher than you could have ever dreamed.
Yep.
So it's super good. So the metabolic side of things is huge. Softwave.
Softwave.
Softwave. It's a shockwave therapy. It is a way to stimulate dormant stem cells.
Yeah.
It's a way to, so what I tell people about that technology, our tissue regenerative therapy, Softwave is the best brand. It's FDA cleared. It has so much research behind it. The impact it has on the physiology of the body to be able to stimulate dormant stem cells, to be able to vasodilate, move inflammation, bring new blood, oxygenated blood flow, to help repair tendons and tissues. Yes, it can be used for pain relief. We have multiple people that are like, man, I got to keep doing that because it relieves so much of my pain, gives me so much of my life back. They're like, chiropractic with Softwave is the best thing I could have done. And so, but to properly repair a lot of those tendons, tissues, and things like that is super important for longevity. And if you do have a surgery, great, this can bring you back from it. We've had multiple shoulder surgeries that have, Rita is one of them, that is just, she exceeded her PT in 6 weeks before she was ever supposed to end it. So I tell people all the time with our tissue regenerative therapy, our Softwave technology, if you're told or you're thinking steroid injection, do this first. I'm telling you, I'm asking you for your sake, do this first. Also, too, the stem cells properties it has to be able to use those as an advantage to repair tendons and tissues. If there's a sprained strain, if there's excessive swelling, I mean, there's so many athletes. I mean, what all have we seen just in the past couple weeks?
A lot of ankle sprains and shoulders. We see a lot of, and I always tell people what it's doing is using your body's natural processes to heal things correctly. Because when your body tries to heal things by itself, like sometimes it lays down collagen wrong, it lays down tissues wrong. So, and that's normal. So what this is doing is using things that are in your body, such as stem cells, tissues, blood, to do that correctly, versus when you go anywhere else and get a PRP injection, a cortisone injection, you're injecting foreign things into your body that aren't going to be helping. Your body's like going to see that and be like, that's foreign, that's not my property. And it attacks that in a way it's not going to help you heal. It's just going to lay it down wrong. So that's why I always tell people whenever you're getting Softwave, it's using what is already in your body to then heal it properly.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And that's something that I always tell my team too. If they roll their ankle, do something, it starts swelling or something, I'm like, you have to come in and get Softwave. I mean, I have one of my dancers in now, and she's getting it. She actually broke her ankle on the floor at state. It healed.
Scar tissue development.
Yes, thank you. It healed, but it healed with a lot of scar tissue. She's had a lot of issues with it post healing, quote unquote. And so she and her mom actually did come in. She started getting it, and she has noticed a ton of not only relief, but mobility coming back. And she's able to stand on that releve a lot longer, jump more actively, and less scared even of just the normal everyday movements. She's not worried about feeling that twinge or anything like that anymore. And that's something that a lot of our clients, like you said, they're getting that back. There's no longer that hold back of can I do this? Should I do it? It's more of a afterthought. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I just did that.
Yeah. Well, and like the stereotypical treatment of scar tissue is going in there with friction massage or like scraping, and that is painful for the person. Like
Graston.
Yes, like doing it's painful. You're breaking up not only scar tissue, but other things that really don't need to be broken up. And then number 2, like it's not a full-time fix. That's gonna feel better for maybe 5-10 minutes. After practice, they're gonna be like right back in the room being like, okay, can you do that again?
Yeah.
It's not sustainable. Whereas this is yes, it's like a little bit, there's a sensation that comes along with it, but no, it's not painful. Yeah. They're not gripping the AT table when I'm grasping them anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that.
Mm-hmm. So the kind of testimony analogy example used was athlete, dancer, but what I want people to understand from all that is all of that discussion was based on function.
Yep.
All of that was based on quality of life and performance. Vital performance, imagine that. So that's an athlete example, but pretend we didn't say any dance words. We didn't say releve. We didn't say one of my dancers. We didn't say, we literally said we gave that person their range of motion so they could perform better, so they could walk, so they could, because you can translate this into how many people who aren't dancers have broken their foot, rolled their ankle, plantar fasciitis, something of the sort, right? Or have scar tissue in a joint anywhere, have any swollen, any injury, sprain, strain, potential surgery in any joint, knees, feet, ankles, whatever. And if you can restore a lot of their range of motion, restore their mobility, take away a lot of their pain, repair tissues properly, give them sustainability. I don't care if you're an athlete, a grandparent, a mom, a dad, a weekend warrior, a professional athlete. I don't care. When things happen, if you can restore them properly, the quality of life goes up. Yeah. Like we're restoring performance so you can live the life you want to live in the life you deserve. So this is an avenue for that, to be able to give people a resource that I still think it's not many people know about it. And I think a lot of people would rather do this and do the soft wave, do the tissue regenerative therapy if they knew it was available. So tell somebody, ask us about it, because it can literally change lives in a visit.
Yeah, and we've seen that. I mean, we've seen people cry after their first soft wave appointment, jumping up and down for joy. Somebody damn near took off running. They were so excited. They were like, look at what I can do. It's crazy what you see coming from that in chiropractic. It's a match made in heaven.
Yeah, we've helped we have helped a lot of athletes as of recently, as we've launched the Pure Athlete and shoulders, AC separations, rolled ankles, knee sprains, patellar tendonitis, rotator cuff sprain strain. There's so much that we've been able to help with.
Plantar fasciitis.
Yep, toes.
All these athletes that we're naming right now.
yeah, and it's a big deal. I mean, their season is pretty short. Football season is short. Softball season is short. Dance season is short, and this is a time in their lives where they should be able to enjoy and do as much of it as possible, because this might be it, or it could cost them a further career. And so it's been very, very cool to see parents invest into their kids and find proper care for that. And it's been a huge reward to see them do well and get back to their sport or continue playing their sport sooner. It's a big deal. The alternative might not be so fun. You're out 8 weeks, season's over, it's your senior year. That sucks. That can create a whole another line of issues.
Well, and it also sucks when the parent can't be there. So that's why it's been really cool too to see parents and grandparents investing into soft wave, because we've had a lot of people come in that are like, I just want to be able to get to my kid's game, or I just want to be able to get to my grandson's last basketball game, and I can't climb up the stairs, or I can't get on the bleachers. And to see them stand up for the first time after their first visit and walk without a cane. At one point, we had at our old office, we had somebody, it was when we first started to have soft wave in our office, she literally walked out of our office without her cane. Didn't even realize it, had no idea. Like, we had to go run after her, and we're like, hey, you can't forget this. And she was like, oh my gosh. It was mind-blowing to her, but she was so excited because she was like, this is the first time I haven't even looked for it. Like, I didn't need it. I don't need it anymore. This is so amazing. I'm able to go to my grandson's soccer game and walk to the sideline where I should be able to sit instead of sitting in my car. So those are the things that we see come out of soft wave, not only in athletes, but also in those that watch the athletes and need to be places and things. So super cool.
So with that, the other thing we have just recently added, after we've done our research and vetted a lot of companies and again, research, the technology used behind this, we have found a company who produces literally medical red light, like the stuff that you read about. It is not the cheap $6 little thing knockoffs on Amazon. They do not spit the right wavelength. Like there's a lot of misconception on that.
Yeah.
The stuff we have access to is very much the red light you're looking for. Infrared, near infrared, red light. It is the proper wavelengths. You can do a lot of that research, and it's such a convoluted topic, right? Well, it's such a popular topic right now that it's very convoluted with what works, and there's things that are hidden through there, and there's even an algorithm to how those wavelengths should be spilled via the unit that you're using, and there should be some fluctuation in that as well, as far as how many joules or millijoules are being exposed to the skin in certain areas like that. It's all stuff that I have looked at, and we have researched to make sure, okay, because there's so many companies out there right now.
I was just going to say
But point being, we do have the proper company affording us red light therapy right now, which is huge for cellular production and healing and mitochondrial growth and ATP production. There's in a lot of the biochemistry processes that go internally. That's kind of my geek. I'll simmer down pot roast here for simmer pot roast, because I do enjoy the biochemistry side, as that is my degree and background. But it is the proper wavelengths and the proper healing as far as red light's concerned, which is very good for skin. Yes, there's even stretch mark properties. There is cellular production, healing as far as cartilage, tendons, tissues. There's so much good that can come from red light. And we've even another skeptical gal who is actually has enjoyed her weekend in Florida. Now we should probably be seeing her today. She was like, man, I don't know. That seems kind of voodoo to me. I was like, if you want the best results, the fastest. She's doing it on both of her feet. We ordered her both of them. And she's like, I don't know if I should say something too soon, but she's like, I think it's working. I was like, okay, well, you can say it louder for those in the back. Like, imagine that. We wouldn't give it to you if we knew it didn't work. So,
and that's something that I think I don't want to skip over, is the proper red light. And I like that you said that, because there are things that you can get on Amazon. We've seen them go viral. We've seen them on TikTok. There's ads for them everywhere. The masks and the red light mats that you can get at the house and things like that. But like you said, if it's not actually doing anything, it's just a red light bulb, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta actually,
if it's less than $100, if it's less than $500, and if it's the bigger one, like the whole ass one you want to lay on, if it's less than $1,500, it probably ain't it.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Right.
And is it cheaper to make? Yeah, it's probably cheaper to make. But you know what? The market is the market. They have the technology. They've done the work, and you're paying for the outcomes. So look at the results you're going to get that you desire versus the price that you're going to pay. And, we can figure that out. Again, we help people with that if it's included in their care plan, or if they want to get it. There's ways we can help you afford that.
Right.
Some of them are $350 depending on if it's a wrist. Some of them are $2,500 if you want the some of the whole areas that you want to lay on. But the point being is it can be, I'll be honest, I wouldn't say it needs to be absolutely necessary for people. But again, if you want the best results the fastest, and if you want the lifestyle and even the wellness afterwards, keep it and continue to use it. You don't have to just use it when you're injured.
Right.
We've had some people ask, like, man, this is so great. You have red light. Like, how can I get into that? I want to do it on a wellness base.
Yes.
I don't really have any injuries. Can I get that from you if I just want to utilize it?
Right.
Heck yeah, you can. I utilize it. Absolutely. Like, that's again, the chiropractic lifestyle. Take the stereotype off of chiropractic, look at it as a lifestyle. And this is one of those things that we've added to be able to help with.
Yeah, it's definitely a wellness thing, 'cause that's something that you can do outside of the office.
Yeah.
As well. So it's not a huge another time commitment of coming into the office. You do it up to 3 times a day when you have your own unit.
Yeah.
So you can be put it on your feet, for example, and you can watch your Netflix show or watch the news or drink your coffee. It's not just you're sitting there and watching the red lights below on you.
Right.
I love that.
Right. So we've gone chiropractic, we've gone metabolic, we've gone soft wave. I said it once, but decompression.
There you go.
Over the past couple weeks, we've added decompression. I'll be honest, I don't know why the hell I didn't start this sooner. Especially with my injury.
Yeah.
I've been on decompression before. I take a little pride in the fact that I haven't added it yet, because we've gotten such great results without it. However, really the reason I added it is I knew it was going to bring great clinical outcomes. But we've also had clients ask for it.
Yeah.
I want to do this. One, it feels good. Some actually do clinically really need it, but also like it's just going to give us better outcomes. Again, better results, faster, sustainable results. If you want the best results the fastest, we can do that. But we've had people ask and people call in like, do you have that? I've moved here. I'm looking for that. Yeah. And if that's where you need to start this chiropractic lifestyle, great. If SoftWave is where you need to start this chiropractic lifestyle, then great. Yeah. Or your resolution discussion, which is best for you? Do I have to do them all? We're going to meet you where you're at. Yeah. And decompression, I just don't know why I haven't added it sooner, because it's been a huge, already we've had it 3 weeks. We've had a lot of great feedback from it already, which we knew we were going to get. And we're just going to be able to serve people better.
Well, I would like to testimonial for that, because you guys actually used me to test the cervical side of it, and I loved it. Yeah. I came off of there. I felt great. I felt 6 inches taller. But not only that, I will say too, I mean, like when I was in college, before I met you, and obviously you, but before I met you, I was having terrible lower back pain until I got under chiropractic care. It never went away.
Nice plug.
But I was having terrible lower back pain. I was a dancer, and my dad, quote unquote, found a solution through someone, and I can't remember if it was a chiropractor or not, and their solution was an inversion table.
Oh boy.
So I had this inversion table.
Don't get me started.
That was quote unquote helping, which it wasn't. It was just fun for me to do because I was also an acrobat. I liked laying upside down. But tell us the difference, if you will, between what our decompression table does and what an inversion table doesn't do.
Well, the biggest thing is with the inversion table, like I get it. Like a lot of things on paper, it's like, well, yeah, invert gravity, like hang upside down, stretch it out. That's great. There's a lot of things on paper that sound good. Take more calcium, do this, do that. It's like, well, do you don't know if you need it? Like in all of the things we've talked about today, the status quo, there's a lot of it that looks great on paper.
Yeah.
Inversion tables, this is what I tell everybody, and very quickly they go, whoa, didn't think about that. And this is all I have to say. You're hanging by your ankles. So now you're affecting ankles, knees, hips. You're after low back issue, mid back issue, neck issue. You're trying to traction your spine. However, you're pulling on every other joint in the body. And it's just not good for the structure. Like there's so much, like a part of me does just want to rip on the inversion tables a little bit. Like I get it on paper, it looks great. And yeah, I think maybe it's fun to teeter totter back and forth, but you're putting so much stress and pressure on ankles, knees, hips, with that gravitational force. It doesn't stop there. It doesn't care that you're targeting the low back or upper part of the lumbar spine. It doesn't care. It's going to pull on everything. Yeah. Heaven forbid you throw a blood clot while you're upside down. Bad juju. So those are just a few things. And like, I don't know any of the companies. I'm not trying to speak bad on any of them. I'm just trying to give people the proper resources to get you better results faster. That's catered to you. That's based on your body, your evaluation, your structure, and what you have going on. And that's why adding this decompression unit, wasn't cheap. But it's going to give us better outcomes, and we can target specific areas, whether it's upper, mid, lower cervical spine, whether it's the thoracic spine, the lumbar spine, like doesn't matter. We can get into hips. There's all kinds of settings where we can do hip traction for, the closing of the acetabular joint, looking at hip replacement conversations. Like a lot of people want to put that off as long as possible. Yeah. They know they're coming to us thinking that, well, it might be inevitable. I just don't want to do it yet. I want to get through this big vacation I have coming up, this Disney trip, this trip to Iceland. We've had both of those this year. I just want to at least get through that. And some have still put that inevitable surgery off, which is great. And I'll be honest, there's a time and place where it's like matter has limitations. If we need to get you through that, I'm confident I can help you with that. We still may be looking at surgery consult after. I'm okay saying that. But there's also a lot of other scenarios where surgery is not the answer, but they don't know where else to go. It becomes exploratory when we could have done something else to prevent that and at least had a first option that qualified that decision or potentially took it off the table. So.
Awesome. I just had to bring that up. Yeah. I will say I didn't feel anything on that inversion table compared to what we actually, I felt the difference instead of just lightheaded.
So with that, the last thing I'll plug on this as far as resolution and just things we provide and things we can help you with is our Ultimate Athlete Evaluation.
Yes.
Notice that I have saved that for last. We're talking about still a lot of general public. There's things in the future where we're going to have some sides of the office that are going to focus on certain things and genre of people, but we're here for anybody. We're not for everybody. That's okay. But the Ultimate Athlete Evaluation is something that is growing very quickly. We've done 5 or 6 in the past week, a little over a week. A lot of parents choosing to get their athlete evaluated, and with the technology we use and everything that we do has been able to give a lot of people either hope or the next step or the preparation for whatever's coming next for them. We've got athletes as young as 11 and then we've got college athletes who have done it as well, and so now we're getting ready to put the throttle down on that too. It's right now it's $250 to get it done. It includes an entire evaluation in our office, everything we have, including the technology, the AMI evaluation, and everything that we've done to set up the best evaluation possible for athletes as far as a foundation, so we can start to build better athletes sooner and grow better athletes. Other than that, just about covers it.
I think so.
So as you head into resolution season, these past 2 episodes, hopefully it gives you some direction. Hopefully it stimulates questions. By no means, let me tell you this, this is not me giving answers. That's not the goal of this. It might have provided some answers for some people. My goal is to have exposed people to more options and really to jog your brain and your conversation and your questions to be better, because 2024 can be a very, very great year. Start now, but those are some options and hopefully can stimulate some conversation for us, and we'd be happy to help you through that or wherever you are at. Like I said, we have colleagues all over, and so we can help however it is you need us to. So
Heck yeah.
anything else?
I don't think so. I think that's great.
I love resolution season. This is great. Change the perspective, change dynamic, change the mindset. Pick something that's not status quo. Pick something that you would like to keep and don't do it in a way that's status quo. And if you have questions, you need help figuring it out, or you need a boost of encouragement, empowerment, we can be here for that too. But stay tuned. Next week will be another episode. We'll get to see what that topic is. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week. See ya.